Hey, most excellent rock buds, it's Rock Papa. Hope you guys are doing well. Today's rock story is Rock Story Volcanic Tuff. We're going to learn what it is, what it's made of, and how it has affected life on Earth. So stay tuned, and if you like this video, please subscribe. Thank you so much to all my subscribers. I really do appreciate that. So here we go. Rock Story Volcanic Tuff. Volcanic tuff is the stuff that's blown out of a stratovolcano when it erupts. Here's a picture of a stratovolcano beginning to erupt, volcanic tuff. Stratovolcanoes are caused by subduction. In this familiar picture, subducting ocean crust on the right is creating a volcanic island chain off the coast of the mainland. An example of this kind of subduction is the island chain of Japan, which is a volcanic island chain with its famous Mount Fuji, which is an active stratovolcano. Another way stratovolcanoes are formed is illustrated in this example. Here, ocean crust is being subducted right underneath the edge of the continent, creating a chain of stratovolcanoes all up and down the edge of the continent. Mount St. Helens in Washington State is an example of this kind of stratovolcano. It is located in the Cascade Range, which runs from northern California up into Canada. We'll see a lot more of Mount St. Helens in this video. Volcanic tuff is usually made of tons and tons of quartz, lots of potassium feldspar, some sodium feldspar, and some biotite mica. Hey rock buds, so volcanic tuff is made mostly of felsic rock materials. Why is that? Well, let's take a look. Subduction, which causes fractional melting, creates three kinds of magma. Quartz-rich felsic granite magma forms first. It is light in weight, and so it floats up to the top of the stratovolcano, plugging it. Intermediate and mafic magma also form, and they produce tremendous pressure against this felsic granitic plug. Eventually, this tremendous pressure from below blows the granitic plug out of the volcano, producing huge amounts of quartz-rich felsic volcanic tuff that blows out into the atmosphere during the eruption. So why doesn't the lightweight felsic granitic magma just flow on out of the top of the volcano instead of plugging it? That's because it's very, very quartz-rich. And quartz has very strong molecular bonds that make this material very thick. It does not want to flow. Magma is either going to flow or it's going to blow, and this kind of felsic quartz-rich magma resists flowing until the pressure gets so high and then it blows. Here are some pictures of volcanic tuff for you to look at. This example is rich in quartz and potassium feldspar, and it's full of air pockets from gas bubbles. And this makes it very light, and it could even float on water, and they call this pumice. In these examples of tuff, you can see some intermediate and mafic rock particles embedded in a fine-grained felsic matrix. And here are some more examples of volcanic tuff. These next two examples are actually metamorphosed tuff, or metatuff, and you can see that this stuff was really super quartz rich. This is Mount St. Helens in Washington in about 1979. Grammy and I were out in the west at that time, but we didn't ever make it to Washington to see Mount St. Helens. Here we see Spirit Lake, which was just a few miles from the mountain here in 1979 before the eruption. Spirit Lake was a major tourist location. Here's what happened in the spring of 1980.
Before an eruption, molten rock forces upward under almost unimaginable pressure to fill the underground magma chambers.
Here's a picture of the bulge in Mount St. Helens created by this tremendous pressure. It's about to blow and erupt in a massive amount of felsic tuff.
On the banks of Spirit Lake, less than 5 miles from the summit, an 84-year-old resident named Harry R. Truman, no relation to Harry S. Truman, tells reporters he has no plans to leave.
That's my life. Spirit Lake and Mount St. Helens is my life, folks. I've lived there 50 years. It's a part of
A
me.
few days later, the bubble popped. Ejecting megatons of ash and tuff thousands of feet into the atmosphere. Most of this material was felsic, iron quartz, potassium feldspar, and maybe some sodium feldspar. Here is Spirit Lake after the blast. Harry Truman's lodge was buried in hundreds of feet of volcanic ash/tuff. Here's some Mount St. Helens details. Hey rock buds, I'm calling the stuff that comes out of a stratovolcano tuff, but technically speaking it's volcanic ash. And when that ash settles on the ground and gets a little compacted, then it becomes tuff. Let's go looking for some more ash/tuff. Do you guys recognize this place? Yep, you got it. It's the Grand Canyon of the Yellowstone River in Yellowstone National Park. The last eruption of the Yellowstone volcano was about 640,000 years ago, and it produced this huge mountain of felsic tuff. The island of Santorini in the Mediterranean Sea erupted about 1500 BC, destroying the Minoan civilization and creating huge mountains of felsic tuff. Here's a wall of tuff from the Pompeii eruption of Mount Vesuvius that wiped out the city of Pompeii about 79 AD. This tuff looks like it's kind of intermediate in reaction to me. Hey guys, now let's come back to the desert southwest of the United States and see one more example of tuff and what it can do. Here's what northeast Arizona looked like during the Triassic period, which lasted from about 250 million years ago to about 200 million years ago. The climate was hot and humid with lots of ginkgo trees and lots of conifer trees. Subduction associated with the Sonoma orogeny on the west coast of the United States created megatons of volcanic ash, which knocked the forest trees down and covered them with many feet of silica-rich volcanic ash that turned into tuff. Over millions of years, silica-rich water permeated these trees, making an exact copy of their structure in quartz with many, many colors. That this became the Petrified Forest National Park. Okay, rock buds, that's Rock Story, Felsic Tuff. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If so, please subscribe. This is your Rock Papa saying happy rock hunting. Papa out.